Hey, what's going on? Sorry about that. Couple minutes late. I had a phone call I had to take, but that phone call was short. So I'm here. We'll do it a little bit later. Some people had asked. They were living in, I think, like Vietnam and Korea and Japan, and it's morning over there. So I'm not sure how many people will tune in. I said I was going live tomorrow night, but I forgot. My wife doesn't work tomorrow night, so she works tonight. So, Cecilia, what's going on? I figure I'd do a little bonus right now since Jamie's working. She's on here. She can work and then still talk with us at the same time. But I know I didn't get to everybody's questions the last live, and I had a little extra time, so I figured why not jump on here. Maybe somebody will be on, maybe not. It's usually a lot slower at night. So I may be just talking to myself. I don't know. That's okay too. That's okay. But I just got back from the doctor's not too long ago. Hamoud, how are you? Sharef, what's going on? And so I made a little vlog about that. I took my phone with me in the car. I didn't dare take it into the doctor's office. And things didn't go exactly as planned. And I talk about that in the video. I didn't get exactly what I wanted. And now I have to go into a hospital, which I'm not exactly pumped about, but Botir, how are you? Victor, welcome. What's going on? So I wanted to go at a little bit different time, and it really wasn't announced. So it's only people who have checked off the notifications, probably the all, whatever your language is, probably all, the bell with the all, and then you'll get a notification. I try not to do that to you too often because then you'll get mad at me and you'll be like, why is this guy giving me another notification? So I figure if I do it once a day, that'll be good. Unannounced. So this, I decided to go live about 20 minutes ago. So luckily the doctor's offices are opening back up. And they're opening back up after being closed for about 2 months. And they were closed for what we call like elective things. We call them elective. Elective meaning not necessary. So if somebody was having a heart attack, of course, that requires immediate attention. They're going to the hospital. But when you're talking about something like my ankle, it hurts a little bit, but it's not worth getting COVID over. So that's why they shut down. They didn't, even dentists are still closed. It's strange because in some countries during phase 1, which we're in phase 1, hairdressers are not open. In phase 1, in my state, hairdressers are open. So if I wanted to, I could get a haircut. But my wife just got a haircut. I'm just reading Hamoud's chat. Tell me about my childhood in 1940. How old do you think I am? 1940? My mom, who's in her 70s, wasn't even born in 1940, Hamoud. Yusuf. No. I said your name wrong, sorry. Yusuf. Sorry. In Turkey. This is really late in Turkey right now. Welcome. You were just about to make a video, Celia. That's good. For the Facebook group. Nice. Well, does anybody know what IRL means? without looking it up. But Jamie is a lot into fitness. Oh, you were just kidding. All right. I didn't know if your country used a different calendar, and you might have thought that I was born in 1940. I was born in 1975, which makes me 45 in November. 44 right now. I'll be 45 in November. An old man. So Botier is wondering, how is it going, the quarantine? So like I was saying, we're in phase 1. And in my state, it's a little different in different counties. So my state, all U.S. states are divided into counties. So we have our country, we have 50 states, and then a little bit smaller is the counties, bigger than cities and towns. And for right now, it's going pretty well. Our cases are down. Our numbers of coronavirus cases are not going up. They're going down. Yesterday, 0 people died of the coronavirus in my state, which hasn't happened in a while. We usually have 1 death a day, maybe 2. Today, I believe we had 1 death. So it's pretty good. Pretty good, considering. Could be a lot worse. And even in New York State, where we live, those numbers, they were having, 2,900, I think, the peak at the highest point. And I think today they had 700 deaths. Again, not great, right? We don't want 700 people dying a day. But when there were 2,900 people dying a day, it is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Hopefully it can get even better. But IRL, looks like I haven't seen, maybe, it's just in real life. So I think in real life. So if Jamie and Cecilia were neighbors, they might go walking together. Like, that's pretty popular for neighbors. There's 2 ladies that one of them lives on our street, and she has a friend that comes over and they walk a lot. So walking is a big hobby, a big way to exercise in the United States if you are in your 40s or older. So my childhood in 1940. Well, World War II was going on. We were just getting out of the Great Depression. Times were tough. Thank you, Ralphie. Thank you. 45 is young. So my doctor, and I say it in the video, I might release that video today. It's all edited. I just have to put some things together. The doctor actually called me young. I was quite happy. But I was young compared to a lot of his other patients who were in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. So I was young, he said. Yeah, William, hopefully this pandemic ends soon. William, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Because you often write in Italian, but I don't think you're from Italy. I think you're also learning Italian like I am. Am I wrong about that? Another question was, so I'm a guy that was born in the 1970s. I was born in 75, as I said. And so people my age were going to high school in the 90s. So I think I would say that I really liked the 90s. I really liked the 90s music, because that's when I was a teenager. So that was pretty fun. I will say, though, 2020 is the worst year that I've ever lived. Right? Can most people say that? Like, 2020 sucks. We say that's not really swearing. It just sucks. 2020 is awful. I haven't mentioned murder hornets. I talked about that in the live in the snow. If you watched that one. So the US is now worrying about murder hornets. We have had killer bees. I think those have come up as the earth has gotten warmer. Those have come up from the south. Mexico? I don't know. El Salvador, maybe? William? Thank you, Cecilia. Maybe William knows about killer bees? They've been making their way into this country for a while. We have had killer bees. These big swarms of bees that if they sting you once, they might sting you 100 times. And I guess they could kill you with their venom. But now, apparently, somehow, murder hornets are coming from China, maybe? Japan? Somewhere in Asia. Murder hornets are now here. I'm gonna find out more about the average of the hornets. I wonder what the average age is here. I know how old Jamie is. I know how old I am. I know how old Cecilia is. But you think Cecilia is the oldest? She might be. A couple years older than me and Jamie. Not much. Right? I think you're 4 years older than me and Jamie. So not that much. Okay, what does this say? What does it say? I pronounced your name correctly once. Yusuf. Yusuf. Is it? Yeah, it's Yusuf, isn't it? Yusuf? So it's really late here. I was going to sleep. Uh-oh. I gotta get rid of that. But then I got your notification, and I got bad news. No. You were already coming to the U.S.? What part of the U.S. were you coming to? Yusuf. Yusuf, right? Yusuf. Yeah, I hope the pandemic ends soon. It will end soon. That's the good thing. It will end soon. You can imagine that it won't be around in 2022, right? Hopefully. Fingers crossed for good luck. You would think by 2022, the virus has gotten to most people. We don't have to worry about, oh, Montana. I remember somebody asked me about Montana. And I wonder, was that you a couple days ago? So, and you asked about California? Yeah, so I had been to California, but I've never been to Montana. But I've had a student from Montana. Yeah, beautiful. Big sky country, they call it. I think we talked about that too. Big sky country. Because there are places in Montana where it's just like the sky forever. So I would love to go to Montana one day. I'd love to go to a lot of places one day. Turkey. I would love to go to Turkey. Love to go to Istanbul. Heard good things about that. And then taking the ferry across to Asia. Right? Istanbul is the one that's in Asia and Europe. Not Ankara. It's Istanbul, I believe. And then there's a place where I've talked to someone from Turkey and they didn't know about this place. But there are hot air balloons. And then there are these white rocks that kind of look like sand, extremely white, and they build houses inside of these rocks. I would love to go to that place in Turkey. Can't remember what it's called in Turkey, but it would be nice to go there. And I think that we was here at one time. We is usually our youngest He's usually the youngest. 31. Okay, 25. Not too bad. That might be it. Cappadocia. And I've learned a little bit of I've learned one word in Turkish. I can't remember that. It was to say hi. But Turkish seems pretty tough too. William. Okay, now I remember that. Austin, Texas. Yes. The one city that I haven't visited that I most want to is Austin, Texas. Heard good things. How many girlfriends have I had? I've only had one. I saw my wife and immediately fell in love. So just one. Just one. Salam. This was something else. And it was hard for me to say, but I figured it out. Let's see. Google Translate to jog my memory. Turkish. Only one word I know in Turkish. It's bugging me. Mahatba. Is that how you say it? There it is. Mahatba. And I think I say it wrong still, but yeah. Oh yeah, what Jamie is talking about is certain times of the year, there are 1 million bats that fly from this bridge in Austin, Texas. I believe it's not San Antonio, it's Austin. Yeah, thank you, Ralphie. Try to be safe. Mahatma. So we is here. Yes. So we is 14. I'm 44. And pretty much everybody else is mostly in the middle. There is something in the United States that for like etiquette, for being polite, is that you never ask a woman's age. That's what we say in the United States. You never ask a woman's age. It's not polite. Now, I'm not sure if that is the same in other countries, but we're not supposed to say that. Opposite of pursuit. Antonym for pursuit. It's a good one. Because you're chasing in a pursuit. It might be like just give up. Give up. We mentioned apathy. We mentioned apathy where you just don't care anymore. So yeah, and Jamie mentions just assume. Don't ask that the woman is pregnant. Just don't bring it up. Never say, "Oh, when are you due? When are you expecting? Is it a boy or a girl?" Because you may have seen in the United States, there are some women that are a little heavier, just like some men in the United States. We tend to be a little bigger than a lot of countries. So you never want to worry about if a woman is pregnant or not. You just wait for her to tell you if she is, but you never bring it up first, okay? Never bring it up first. All right. Oh, wow. Austin. It's a beautiful city from what I hear. And I mentioned before, the live music capital of the United States, Austin, Texas. Apparently there is a street in Austin where they close it off and you can just go from music place to music place, club to club, listening to different music. Sounds like fun. Hamoud. I've stolen a few cars, yes. That's typical in the United States. Teenagers steal cars, and no, no, no. Ibrahim, what is the just because this is a late night chat doesn't mean we can just have all this adult talk. I'm not gonna talk about what Ibrahim. I'm thinking that you don't know what that. Oof. I don't even know how I would talk about that. Does the carpet match the drapes? I can't. No, I'm not. I won't. I won't say it. I won't say it. No, I've never stolen a car. I've never stolen a car. Maybe I like classic cars. Is that another joke about how old I am? Man. Taha, I'm glad you are here. Yeah, it's not too late where I am, where some of us are. If we live in the Americas, it's still late evening, right? It's not quite late night yet. It is 8:22. 8:22. So not so bad. Not my bedtime yet. Since I'm older. Since some people think I'm born in 1940. I'm in my 70s. I do need to go to bed early, but it's not too late. It's not too late. So, we're still good. We're still good. Welcome. I wish I could read. Now that might be, maybe I'm going to go with Japanese. Japanese. But it looks Chinese to me. It looks more Chinese. It's definitely not Korean. But welcome. And if you are new here, don't forget, hit subscribe, ring that bell. Okay, so Jamie answered that with the carpet match the drapes. Hey boy. Hey boy. All right, so that little sister of yours, 8 years old. 8-year-old. Ralphie. Yeah, you would get in trouble. You would get in trouble. Can you imagine? When is the baby due? I'm not pregnant. I just had a big breakfast. Yeah, no. And I bet that's all around the world, right? You never just assume a woman is pregnant. That could be bad. We talk about in the doghouse. That's come up before. When you're in trouble with someone, it's most likely it's the husband who is in trouble with the wife. But if you ask a woman, now there's just so many things that could go wrong. Don't put your hand on her belly. Oh, how's the little guy doing? As Ralphie said, no, I just had an extra serving of bacon. I'm not pregnant. Why? This is the second time that, and today, that I've had the question low key. Is there a study guide that people get for a test maybe? But yeah, low key. I can put that into a sentence. No way. So Wee's little sister is in here. Hey Wee, little sister. Wee, what should we call her? What should we call? She deleted her message. So low key, the one I used earlier today, maybe you have like a low key dinner. Maybe like a low key dinner date. Like a low key dinner date where you don't have to dress up. Maybe you can just wear like what I'm wearing today, a t-shirt and jeans, because you're not going to anything too fancy or too posh, as the British might say. So we sometimes call it dress down. So nothing too fancy. The gentlemen, they do not have to wear a tie. Low-key, casual. Oops. That's another thing we might say. Casual, low-key. Yeah, Ibrahim, I figured you didn't. I figured, nah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I was just kidding. And remember, I work with 12 and 13-year-olds all day, sometimes 14-year-olds. I am used to questions like that. It's all good. It's all good. And if Wee's little sister wasn't here, maybe I would answer the question, but she is here. So Jamie answered it. Yeah, what should we call, and I can guarantee you Jamie was laughing. She's upstairs. I didn't hear her laughing, but I bet she did laugh a little bit. Oh, Ralphie, this is a great question because they're very different. Okay. Hard can mean a couple different things. The way this chat is going, who knows how it could be used. But normally it's just like hard as a rock. So it's how something feels. Hard, opposite of soft. Hard, opposite of easy. So those two ways hard can be used. And then hardly, we will say like, what's a synonym for hardly? It's totally different. Has nothing to do with hard. I hardly got to sleep last night. Hardly. Barely. So hardly is a synonym for barely. Like you're saying just a little bit. Maybe your mom says to you, oh, I hardly get to see you anymore. You're so busy. So barely and hardly are synonyms. Hope that helps. Oh, I'm sure she's making trouble. I'm sure she's making trouble. Just since you're the big brother and I have the power, you want me to block her? You want me to put her in timeout? I have that power. Jamie has that power too. Let me know. Okay? Let me know. Jamie, thank you. About the beard. Jamie doesn't like the beard as much. Jamie doesn't like the beard. So, and it gets a little itchy. But as you know, as I keep eating, I eat during the quarantine. Somebody called it at the doctor's office, they called it the quarantine 15. I like that. We put on 15 pounds during quarantine. The beard, it might cover up the face. I might have to go to the quarantine, the beard. I might have to. But some people say that the masks, when you wear masks, the beard is not as, it makes it not as airtight. Doesn't make it as effective. So, I don't know. Low-key, Lisa. I don't know what that means. Low-key, I think Lisa like you. I don't know what that means. What is the difference between miss and disrupt? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. So, if you miss, if you miss someone, it means you want them around. You know, there might be a lot of family that you are missing because of quarantine. You can't see them that often anymore. And that would disrupt your schedule. Not being able to see your family, it might really disrupt your schedule. You won't be able to see them anymore. So disrupt means interferes. Interferes. Disrupt. You might have a disruption in your schedule where you have to stay at home now. You can't do all of the things you want to do. Taha, why did you take away your message? Hey, boy. Why is Ansley, why is our daughter watching this? Oh, I proved that I'm super polite? It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh. Oh, this is directed to Jamie. But cure and heal, they are synonyms. Yeah, so maybe you have the coronavirus. Oof, hopefully you don't. You could be cured of it. You no longer have it. And then we would say you have been healed. So they're pretty much used interchangeably. You can use either one if you want. I don't know, Hamoud. That's a good question. Instead of just typing, can you use the mic? And I've done it one time. I don't think anybody was here, but I actually went to like Zoom so we could have a conversation. It was a little while ago, but I remember Lelox was there from France. Naima was there from Algeria. It was a lot of fun. Oh man, who else was there? I remember two people from Russia. Was it Andre was there? A couple people were there. So maybe we'll do another Zoom where there can be more interaction. Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Taha. And it really helps to listen. I was studying more of Italian today. If you're new here, I'm also studying Italian. And I think it helps me as a teacher of English to also learn another language so I know how hard it is and I can appreciate all the hard work that goes into learning English. Excuse me. And today, I'd done a lot of listening. A lot of listening during this quarantine. And it's really helping me as I watch videos that I know more and more that is going on. Now, I still can't talk. I still can't speak Italian. But when it comes to listening, it's getting a lot better. In just a couple months, it's really helped me out. So I think listening to English a lot. Like if you listen to me talk, I try to talk as much as I can for the hour or so that I'm on here. And if you listen every day, maybe on replay or maybe live, I think it will really help you, at least with the American accent. But even, and I don't think anybody is in here from Italy, but there are some major, we would call them probably dialects in Italy. And one grandmother was speaking in the dialect, and I was able to understand her more though. Well, she was speaking with an accent, not her dialect. Let's see, Jamie answered that question. Oh, I've started using tags now. Hashtags. I read somewhere that it might help people find the channel. So I've been kind of using some hashtags in my titles. So, not a boomer anymore. I'm still a boomer because I can't handle the chat all the time. Norma, welcome. Norma's here. We is wondering, what's the difference between dispose and process? They're almost exact opposites. They're almost antonyms. Because if you dispose of something, you throw it away. That's another way to say throw it away. Dispose. But if you process it, you can use it as you're making something. If you process it, you're making it. So those are almost the opposite. Almost the opposite. Yeah, I can use exhilarating in Shref. I can. Exhilarating. It means that Man, here's a big word. I wish I could spell it, but I can't. Adrenaline. It's that chemical in your body that when you are really excited, you have it pumping through your veins. Adrenaline. Some people, if maybe they are challenged to a fight, they just get a lot of adrenaline. Exhilarating is often the same thing, but exhilarating is always like a high. Sometimes you'll hear this thing called a runner's high. If anybody has ever been a runner's high. Thank you, adrenaline. That's how you spell it. Thank you, Jamie. A runner's high. So maybe your first mile, we use miles here, sorry. So maybe your first kilometer or two, you're like, oh, you're kind of tired. But then on the third or fourth kilometer, you have this adrenaline pumping through you, and that feeling could be really exhilarating. If you are in an airplane and you look down, but you're kind of excited, there could be a little adrenaline pumping, exhilarating. It could be exhilarating for you to see that, like, wow. Often in English, we say wow when we have that feeling that's exhilarating. Whoa. Hamoud, the first thing I do if I find $1 million, geez, how did I get it? Did I have to deal drugs to get it? And is somebody going to come kill me? I'd be worried. But I couldn't put it in the bank though, right? Because people would think I stole it. Is this clean money or is it dirty money? If it's clean money, what would I do? I'd probably pay off my house. It's a boring answer, but I'd pay off my house. And then Jamie and I would travel. And the first place we would go would be, Jamie, where would we go? Italy? Travel. We'd have to travel somewhere. We'd find a place for our kids because we don't like them that much. We don't like our kids that much. So we'd find a place for them. I think my daughter's still listening. That's why I said that. We'd take the family. Go to Italy. We'd go around a little bit. Turkey, right? Would we go to Turkey? Iran? Go down to visit Rod in Brazil? We'd have to travel. Rod and I have been talking about prepositions. They're so hard. I understand. And like I say, the best way to learn prepositions is to do lots of listening. Listen to native speakers. I use prepositions correctly all the time. So the question is, do we say on lockdown or in lockdown? We wouldn't say on lockdown. We would say in. You are in lockdown. You're in quarantine. In is the proper one for that. Who was I talking to earlier? And I can't remember what it was, but it was a difference between 4 and 2. This 2 here. And you could honestly use either one. I can probably pull that up. He was a little worried about which to use. I got it right here, I think. We did it through audio. All right. But sometimes the prepositions, you have a choice sometimes. With travel, you can say I'm riding in a car. You can't say I'm riding on a car because that means you're on top of the car. I'm riding in a car, but I'm riding on the train. Does that make any sense? I'm riding in the car. I'm riding on the train. Oh, you. I have good news for you. Discard and throw away are the exact same thing. But, I'm going to change. Change the spelling though. That's how we would spell it. So to discard and to throw away, same thing. Same. Oh, Jamie already answered that. Same thing. Ralphie, thanks, teacher. Yes, we. Oh, you're asking? Yeah, we have a dollar supermarket. You can go in and get some pretty cheap things for $1, but they're cheap. They're sometimes not the best. But yeah, you can get some food for, once the quarantine ends, I will make a video in our local Dollar Tree. I will make a video. Promise. Maybe I'll go live and make it weird. And then people can be in the chat saying, hey, go over to this section. I'll do it. I'll have my microphone. We'll just do it. Maybe we'll get kicked out. Oh, clean money. I did mention that, didn't I? So if you earn your money through working, we call it clean money. You can spend it anywhere. But if I made my money through dealing drugs, that would be dirty money. So I might have $1 million, but if I try to put that cash into the bank, $1 million, the authorities are going to come looking for me. Because they are going to wonder, Mr. Watson, how'd you get that $1 million? So I would have to pay taxes on it, and then I would have to prove where I got that. And most likely, it would be in a dirty way. It would be committing some kind of crime. Maybe, like Hamoud said earlier, maybe I'm stealing cars, which I'm not. But maybe I'm stealing cars, and I'm making money. Lots of it. I can't put it in a bank. Oh, Rod. Yeah, it didn't go so well. I'm making a video about it's vlog number 2, where I go to the doctor's office. And yeah, I didn't get my shot. I wanted to get the shot. The doctor would not give it to me. So now I have to go back to the hospital. It's a whole thing. Sometimes we say that. It's a whole thing when it's like a little complicated. But thanks for asking. So yeah, because it was a little different when I went to the doctor's office. They didn't let me into the waiting room. We have these things called waiting rooms. And I say it in the video, it's literally a room where you wait for the doctor to call you. And you're in a big waiting room with other people, and then you go to a smaller waiting room where it's just you, and the doctor comes in. So there's no more big waiting room. I waited in my car. So, Taha. So the best way to improve English. Now, remember, I learned English as a baby, so I didn't have to work for it. But there are a lot of really good English speakers in here. Really good. It would be interesting. Possibly, could you write down some tips that helped you learn English? I will still say that reading and listening to, we call it comprehensible input. That means you're reading and you're listening to things that you know about 80% of. 80%. Now, when I first started learning Italian, it wasn't 80%. But I kept listening, and I've gotten better. So I really do think that the listening and the reading native material will help you. But it takes a long, long time. It takes a long time, right? Like 2 years, at least. Thinking maybe 3 to get pretty good. But how long have some of you guys been learning English? I know like Cecilia, I believe, is an English teacher. Rod is an English teacher in Brazil. So they're way better at learning English than I am. I did it as a baby. I didn't have to work for it. It would be nice if people wrote down tips because it might help me learn Italian. Fawn, how are you? Hey, thank you so much. It's very kind. I'm going a little later to try to help find those people that might be watching from Asia. A couple people had asked me earlier today, can you go at a time that's better for us? So I know it's early morning in Korea and Japan and Vietnam, but there's a good percentage of viewers that watch my channel from those countries. So I tried to go at a time that might be nice. Oh, wow, Maldives. Yeah, it's a good question. Ibrahim. Yeah, that's a good question. And I didn't realize it until I started speaking with people who are learning English, is that English speakers, we often don't learn another language, right? You know, like most of us don't. And it's exactly what Ibrahim said. The reason I'm learning Italian is I find it fun, and I think it will help me teach others to learn English. If I know how hard it is, then I will find, we call it empathy. Then I can understand how hard it is to learn English. And remember, I'm going from English to Italian, which is pretty easy compared to Arabic to English or Japanese to English, where you're not using the same alphabet. So one day, right? One day, maybe either Persian or Arabic. Oh yeah, the Maldives, the Seychelles, I believe is how it's pronounced. Love it. Oh, Rod, are you talking about our country? Yeah, in the United States, each state is a little different. So some states are what we would call phase 4, like Montana. Montana, I don't believe has had many cases. They're so spread out. So I don't think a lockdown is in effect anymore. In my state, some counties are out of lockdown. My county still is in lockdown. We can go out, but only when it's necessary. Ooh, Hamoud. Canteen? I don't know what I said. Canteen. Oh, maybe contain? That? Contain? Hamoud is asking for me to spell something, but I'm not sure. Contain. Contain? Canteen. Don't know. Rafael, welcome. Yeah, in the United States, I can record. I can record anything I want in the United States. Well, not anything. But any public place in a supermarket, I can definitely record in there. I'm not saying that everybody's going to like it. I might get some angry stares, but who cares? Yeah. Right. So, Ralphie, Jamie already answered this, but when we say the apple is too red, that would mean it's like way past red. And that's not a thing, really. That's not a thing. We could say it's too ripe. It's too ripe, meaning you probably don't want to eat it because it's all soggy. So usually when you say too, it's almost like a bad thing. Like, oh, this is too much to handle. This food is too salty. This drink is too cold. So a lot of times, too, it means it's gone past the point where it was good. Ashraf, no, you're not late. Oh, I forgot. In Morocco, not too. What time is it in Morocco? It's still Monday, right? Still Monday. Rod, I would say that, yeah, is on lockdown. I believe they are making a mistake. But, if they're not a native English speaker and they say they're on lockdown, I mean, I wouldn't give them a hard time, but it doesn't sound as right as they're in lockdown, they're in quarantine. Huh. Turkey. Well, the way it's spelled in Turkey, we don't spell it the right way. It's like that with I think a couple dots over the U. So we should spell it like that. We just don't. We spell it like the animal. I think I've been asked this before. I don't really watch the NBA. I really don't know much about the NBA, but I do watch the NFL, which is football, and I watch the NHL, which is hockey. I don't watch too much. I don't watch too much NBA. Rod, that's a good point. I've been meaning to. I'm nervous. But yeah, to make some hacks for those three prepositions. I think I could do a video on that. And I found a chart that somebody else made, another English teacher, made with those three prepositions. So it wouldn't be too hard for me. But that's the thing, is that sometimes you can use more than one preposition and it doesn't matter. Like, it would sound fine. But sometimes the preposition is really like, but I don't think, the good news, I'm looking for that. It's a long time ago that I found that. But, oh yeah, it has a couple other, but I could talk about that chart at, in, on, by, and for without it being too confusing. The good thing though, if you mess up and you use at instead of in, whatever, it's not really going to affect the meaning. Like, most native English speakers will be able to understand what you're saying. It will just sound a little bit funny to them. It'll sound a little bit off, but the meaning should still come through. Nice, Ibrahim. So I'm listening to mini stories as well. And the app that I'm using, it's not a sponsor or anything. I use Link. I pay for it myself. But I'm on mini story 27 of 60. So there are 60 mini stories on this app. I'm on 28. If you look, 28. And these mini stories, now after studying Italian for a year, the first 15 were really like review, like really, really review. But it was good for me to listen and read to something that I could understand 100%. 100% of it I knew. There's a bit of a glare, sorry, on the phone. But so the mini stories are really effective. And as you go through them, the tenses change. So the first 10 or 15 are in present tense. Then they start throwing in some past tense. Now on story 28, I'm getting a little future tense. So nice. Yeah, podcasts. Ibrahim. Oh, Ralphie. So 2 years. 2 years. That's good though. 2 years. I mean, I've seen at least Ibrahim and I've seen Ralphie type, and I know that your English must be pretty good. Must be pretty good because I never have trouble understanding what you say. So nice job, man. Oh, Rod. No, you don't have to ask. I mean, of course, I put it out on YouTube. I mean, and teachers know, man. Teachers, at least in the United States, teachers know if you put something out there, other teachers will use it if it's, I mean, my YouTube videos use it for whatever, but a lot of teachers will say if it's going to help students, use it. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, please do. Please do. William, that's true. That the older I get, the more that's real. Like, yeah, money would be really, really helpful, but your health you can't buy that. So nice. William, I'm wondering, how old are you? Did you say already? But I wonder if that's the thing. The older you get, the more you realize. Yeah, Ralphie, there's one guy I watch. His name is Alberto, and his picture is right there. And it's called Imparare Italiano Automatico. He's really good. He's been doing a daily vlog during quarantine, and he lives in northern Italy, where they've been really hard hit. So I don't know, Yusuf. I don't know. Naima, she's here. What's going on? Really late in Algeria. I don't know when the next Zoom meeting will be. I guess when we have a little bit of time, which we have a little bit of time during quarantine, right? Welcome, Naima. So I think Ibrahim brought up a great point, is that, this is big, is that whatever you're doing, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Maybe you would learn it quicker by memorizing, maybe, I don't know. But you're more likely to keep learning if you're having fun. We have this thing called burnout. Definitely a phrasal verb. But burnout, if you haven't heard of it before, it's when you do too much of one thing. So if you're language learning, all you're doing is memorizing every day, you will probably get burnt out and you won't do it for as long. Whereas maybe you are having more fun, like Ibrahim says, listening, reading things that are exciting to you, you're more likely to spend more time doing it. But how about this? The first 6 months of learning a language, maybe first year, is going to be a slog. It's going to be a slog. It's just, you just got to do it. You got to get through it. And it won't be fun, maybe. But the more you do it, you'll eventually get to that point where you can watch a YouTube video and understand most of it, and it's good content. It's fun for you. So Whoa. It's Thursday. What? Yusuf. It's already Thursday? Oh, Tuesday. I bet you mean Tuesday. Okay. Tuesday. Yeah, I know you mean Tuesday. You mean Tuesday. But yesterday I was talking with Aroni, and I got my Saturday and my Sunday mixed up in Italian. Easy to do. Tuesday. Yeah. Oof. Ralphie, yeah. You know what? The prepositions. He said I need to make a series on prepositions. Yeah, I do. And it's almost like a nightmare for me to make it because I worry that if I make a video and it's too confusing. But, oh man, thank you, Rod. I don't have a lot of subscribers compared to some. I got about 1,200, but I've only been at it for 3 months. So it seems like it's going pretty well. I'm having, that's the thing. I'm having fun doing this. I'm having fun talking with people from around the world. And if it makes me think I'm helping somebody, then I don't worry so much about the channel. I think that will happen. Just like with learning English. If I was so worried about getting 10,000 subscribers, I wouldn't be having fun. But if I just let it happen, I'll stick with it more, just like learning a language. So, but thank you, Rod. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Naima's saying she wrote third. I should have known. I should have known. But just like Hamoud, I'll blame it on Hamoud because he was saying that I was born in the 1940s. I thought his calendar where he lives is different from the calendar I use. So, oh, nice, Ibrahim. So if you can listen to audiobooks, all right, we have this thing in English called the snowball effect. Snowball effect. So think of a hill, and then think of a ball of snow. As it rolls down, like it starts small. Snowball effect, it starts small. But as it keeps rolling, it gets bigger and bigger, and it grows more quickly as it gets bigger. So that's what we call the snowball effect. And that is what is happening to Ibrahim now, that he can move on from mini stories where he was learning pretty well every day, but now that he's listening to audiobooks, more content, his language learning is going to grow much quicker now, much more quickly. That's the snowball effect. And that's what happens with language learning. Your progress, getting better, it starts slowly, but then it will just explode. So nice job, Ibrahim. Yeah, are you talking about language learning apps? When I first started with Italian, I used Duolingo. And I've talked about how Duolingo, I think, can be helpful at the beginning. And it's pretty fun. It has like a game part to it. So it's a little bit of gaming. So Duolingo can be helpful at the beginning. And now I buy this thing called Link every month. It's about $13. And they have the mini stories. And I find those helpful. So, all right, Jamie is off work. Yeah, Jamie, I agree. Really well written. Really well written. So, Ashraf is, and he just wrote that, so I won't copy and paste, but you can imagine like Ashraf is trilingual. Try, meaning 3. At least try, I don't know, maybe more. But he knows Arabic, he knows French, and now he knows English pretty well. So you can imagine keeping all three of those languages in your head. Nice job, man. Naima, also trilingual. Nice. Yeah, so you guys actually inspire me to learn my Italian. You know, Naima with her writing everything down, staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning, watching English YouTube videos. Nice job. Ralphie, I think by July 4th. So the idea in this country, in my state, I should say, in my state, by July 1st, we will be at phase 4. That's the idea. There's no phase 5. We'll be at phase 4. So we should be on track to be out of quarantine completely by July 4th. June 1st should be phase 3. But I think in the fall we might have to go back to parts of quarantine. I think. Who knows? Hopefully not. All right. Yeah. So I think I am going to really Ibrahim. Nonfiction. Interesting. So why don't I get out of here? Jamie is done. It is getting a little bit late. She's off work now. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Rod, nice words. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Jamie and I will film a video tomorrow on Southern Slang 2. So thank you all for tuning in. See you tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow at about noon, okay, New York time. Think about then. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Adios, amigos. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.